भारत में जुल्म हो रहा है या मुसलमानों के खिलाफ अभी माहौल बन गया है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। मैं तो अभी पूरे भारत का कि मैंने पैदल यात्रा की 15,000 किलोमीटर, लेह से कन्याकुमारी और कन्याकुमारी से फिर वैष्णो देवी तक। मुसलमान होने के कारण मेरे ऊपर किसी ने कंकर तक नहीं मारा। मतलब
मुझे एतराज है इस टर्म से, इस्लामोफोबिया से, क्योंकि ये एक वेस्टर्न ऑथर ने बनाया था।
Islamophobia. Rise in Islamophobia is an often repeated allegation against India. But has India truly turned Islamophobic? Are Muslims truly unsafe in India? Or are these campaigns merely those fabricated narratives peddled to stoke anti-India sentiments across the globe? Before delving deeper into these questions, let us take a view on how a section paints India as in global platforms.
The one country in the world today where I'm sad to say the state sponsors Islamophobia, and that is India.
BJP government has instituted notorious citizenship laws that disproportionately target over 200 Indian Muslims. Citizenship Amendment Act, or CAA, for instance, is a law that protects minorities from several countries surrounding it.
They repeatedly pointed out that India, along with Myanmar and China, tops the list when it comes to countries that need to be publicly and urgently criticized for human rights violations against Muslims.
This pitch of anti-India narrative gets even more shriller when India exercises its sovereign rights to decide upon its fate on crucial issues. Be it at the decision to abrogate Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, be it the implementation of the NRC and the CAA, sovereign rights have always been undermined by this section. Despite the Government of India's repeated efforts to create an environment of amity and brotherhood, these allegations continue to haunt India.
I'm a member of the U.S. Coalition to Free Professor Jian Sai Baba, and I'm really encouraged to see folks coming out today to stand against NRC and CAB. I think these are real outrages, these real fascist policies to systematically disenfranchise Muslims.
This anti-India campaign gained much vigor after India decided to abrogate Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. It was argued that the decision to abrogate the Article 370 was not only unconstitutional but also anti-Muslim. In rebuttal, India too has issued categorical statements slamming selective outrage of the Western media that has chosen to remain silent on the persecution of Hindus in India's Kashmir and other parts of the world. This is India's official statement.
Allow me at the outset to express our deep concern on the rise in instances of discrimination, intolerance, and violence directed against members of many religious communities in various parts of the world. As a pluralistic and democratic country which is home to almost all religions of the world, India has always welcomed, over the centuries, those persecuted around the world for their faith or belief. They have always found in India a safe haven shorn of persecution or discrimination. This is true whether they were Zoroastrians or Buddhists or Jews or people of any other faith. Therefore, it is a deep concern that we have viewed the growing manifestation of intolerance, discrimination, or violence against followers of religions, including rise in sectarian violence in some countries. Let me also state that we condemn all acts motivated by anti-Semitism, Christianophobia, or Islamophobia. However, such phobias are not restricted to Abrahamic religions only. In fact, there is clear evidence that over decades, such religiophobias have in fact affected the followers of non-Abrahamic religions as well. This have contributed to the emergence of contemporary forms of religiophobia, especially anti-Hindu, anti-Buddhist, and anti-Sikh phobias. These contemporary forms of religiophobia can be witnessed in the attacks on religious places of worship like gurudwaras, monasteries, temples, etc., or in spreading of hatred and disinformation against non-Abrahamic religions in many countries.
Though the narrative around Islamophobia is widely circulated, the views countering it remain mostly obscure. The notion of rise of Islamophobia is not only debunked by the government of India, but also by many Muslim intellectuals and scholars. They forward the view that it is the Hindu society from which the present-day Muslim society emerges from. So there is hardly any scope for Islamophobia. Professor Faiz Khan, a Muslim intellectual, reiterates this view. He says that mostly the Muslims in India today are converted from Hinduism. He also adds,
भारत में इस्लाम को फैलाने में सबसे ज्यादा योगदान जो है वो हिंदुओं ने ही दिया है। यहाँ तक कि यदि आप वर्तमान समय के जो मुस्लिम नेता देखें, उनके भी पूर्वज 2-3 पीढ़ी पहले, 8-10 पीढ़ी पहले वो सब हिंदू थे। आप जैसे देखते होंगे मुनव्वर राणा काफी मुस्लिमों के पक्ष में बोलते हुए दिखते हैं। तो राणा सरनेम जो है वो सऊदी अरब या ईरान इराक का नहीं है, वो यहीं का सरनेम है। इसी तरीके से एक शादाब चौहान बैठते हैं, मुस्लिमों का पक्ष काफी मजबूती से रखते हैं। तो चौहान जो उपनाम है वो भी भारत का ही है, अरब या उधर का नहीं है। यदि आप मुझसे भी पूछे तो हमारे पूर्वजों ने भी ख्वाजा गरीब नवाज, ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती अजमेरी रहमतुल्लाह अलैह के हाथों उन्होंने इस्लाम कबूल किया। पूर्वज सबके हिंदू हैं, तो इस्लाम के प्रति आकर्षित हुए, तब इस्लाम धर्म स्वीकार किया। लेकिन भारत में कुछ चंद कट्टरपंथी मुस्लिम नेता ऐसे हो रहे हैं जो कि लगातार अल्लाह का शुक्र अदा करने की बजाय नाशुक्रापना कर रहे हैं, सनातनी देवी देवताओं को गाली दे रहे हैं, अपने पूर्वजों के प्रति अपमानजनक बात कर रहे हैं। तो उसकी प्रतिक्रिया स्वरूप हिंदू अब जवाब देने लग गया है।
But Arshia Malik, a Muslim intellectual and columnist, says that the very idea of Islamophobia is fake and it does not exist. She adds that this is a narrative often used by Islamists to insulate Islam from scrutiny.
मुझे एतराज है इस टर्म से, इस्लामोफोबिया से, क्योंकि ये एक वेस्टर्न ऑथर ने बनाया था और आजकल सलाफी लोग इसको, इस्लामिज्म लोग, जो इस्लामिस्ट लोग हैं, इसको यूज करते हैं कि इस्लाम पे कोई डिबेट ही ना हो। मैं पर्सनली इस पे बहुत एतराज करती हूँ। हाँ, कुछ हेट क्राइम्स हुए हैं मुस्लिम्स के अगेंस्ट, तो इसका सही टर्मिनोलॉजी होगा एंटी मुस्लिम बिगटरी या मुस्लिम फोबिया, क्योंकि फोबिया का मतलब ही डर है।
She adds that there are many aspects in Islam that may cause fear among non-Muslims. She adds that to alleviate these doubts, these aspects need to be talked about.
इस्लाम में कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनसे आम आदमी को डर लग सकता है। मैं शरिया के अंडर रही हूँ एंड ऐसी बहुत सी बातें हैं हमारे इनहेरिटेंस लॉज में, हमारे डिवोर्स लॉज में, मेंटेनेंस लॉज में, जो बहुत ही गलत हैं, जिनको रिफॉर्म करने की जरूरत है। तो डेफिनेटली उसके बारे में फोबिया तो होगा ही होगा। करेक्ट टर्मिनोलॉजी मुस्लिम फोबिया है।
Sporadic incidents of communal violence in India is often cited as examples of rise of intolerance in India. But Arshia Malik says that Hindu radicalism is a reaction to Muslim radicalism. Professor Faiz Khan, who is known for his efforts to spread the message of true Islam, has travelled 15,000 kilometers across India on foot to offer pujas in holy Hindu shrines. He says that instead of Islamophobia, what is concerning is the existence of Hindu phobia. He says that when he sets out to visit Hindu shrines, he was warned by many not to do so. Many feared that a Muslim visiting a Hindu shrine will not go down well by the Hindu society and he may face resistance. But Faiz Khan says that no such incident ever occurred and he was welcomed by the Hindu society with an open heart.
भारत में जुल्म हो रहा है या मुसलमानों के खिलाफ अभी माहौल बन गया है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। मैं तो अभी पूरे भारत का की मैंने पैदल यात्रा की 15,000 किलोमीटर, लेह से कन्याकुमारी और कन्याकुमारी से फिर वैष्णो देवी तक। मुसलमान होने के कारण मेरे ऊपर किसी ने कंकर तक नहीं मारा। मतलब 30 माह में पैदल चला हूं, 15,000 किलोमीटर पैदल चला हूं, किसी ने मुझे एक कंकर भी नहीं मारा।
But despite these instances of amity and camaraderie, the narrative around Islamophobia persists.